Thank you very much, George. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very much pleasure today that I have some students here from track. You all know the Riverina Anglican College, and it's a very great education and learning place in Wagga Wagga. And I'll just read the names out and welcome the students to come along, and they'll come out and stand in order that they're going to present their programs. First we have Jessie Rand. Thank you very much, Jessie. Second we have Declan Rose. Third we have Alexander Turner. Thank you, Alexander. And fourth we have Joshua Willsher. Joshua, thank you very much. All of these students are going to present their program, and it's going to be conducted by Jai. Thank you very much, Jai. I'll hand over to you. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody who's made the trip to be here, particularly if you've come from interstate or also from Sydney. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of our official guests who have made the effort to be here as well. So this session today, of course, is all about the continuation. We've seen since 1999 and even beforehand, in the lead up to the referendum, there's been a wonderful group of people who have kept the passion to support our system of government alive. And of course, this session will reassure everybody here today that there is a group of people who feel passionately about this same issue and will continue the fight for us. You would have noticed either on the ACM site, or if you are lucky enough to live in Wagga, you would have seen on the front page of the Advertiser a beautiful spread where there was a beautiful image of these students here, and they were expressing their support, and it was advertising today's session. So without any further ado, we'll get underway. I'll invite each of the students to address us with a few thoughts that they've prepared, and then we'll open up the floor for a Q&A session. So I'll first call on Jessie, and Jessie, if you'd like to address.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to present the views of the next generation of Australian citizens and future voters of the role of the constitutional monarchy. Rather than have all four speakers repeat a similar message, we have broken up our brief addresses into several different areas of the topic. First, we'll have Declan talking about the historical perspective.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Declan Rose, and I'll be speaking on the historical perspective of Australia and her monarchy. As a country, Australia is unique among nations, even within the family of the Commonwealth, in that our first governor, Arthur Phillip, was given full and total authority over the first citizens from Europe who arrived on Australian soil. I say citizens rather than convicts, because one of the first acts made by the Judge Advocate General in the British colony of New South Wales was to determine that convicts were not slaves but retained, even in incarceration, all the rights and responsibilities of being under the law determined by the constitutional monarchy. The specific case was brought up by two convicts, Henry Cable and Susanna Holmes, who had had their possessions lost or stolen by a ship's captain. Bruce Ketcher, in the Law and History Review, stated that by winning damages of £15, it was determined that New South Wales was a place ruled by law and not just naval, military or prison discipline. Ketcher said that the result of the Cable v. St. Clair case showed that convicts would eventually have the opportunity to live autonomous and productive lives. In fact, in some ways, would have a greater freedom than our English counterparts. It is this freedom that we share today. It was not won by revolution or dissent, but through the wise determination of our ancestors working within the constitutional monarchy system. During the important governorship of Lachlan Macquarie, the first Supreme Court was established in 1814. The court's judges, under Macquarie's astute direction, were determined to put English law into effect to safeguard the developing nation. They insisted on strict proof of the crime and sentence of a convict in Britain, even though the necessary proof, the court records, was unavailable in the colony. They then refused to adjourn the case until the court record could be sent from Europe to the colony of New South Wales on the other side of the world. The first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court was Judge Baron Field. His recorded evidence to the Commissioner Thomas Brigg which is retained in the Brigg report, was that the sting of the law in this remote colony, where it would sting itself to death, is well and wisely taken away by the law itself. The letter killeth, but the spirit giveth away. It is this life that we are guaranteed under our constitutional monarchy that we most cherish and enjoy. There has been tense and ongoing debate within Australia about the need for a Bill of Rights. The tragedy for Australians would be that if we adopted such a bill, we would be losing or endangering our freedoms that we currently enjoy under our constitutional monarchy-based constitution. Our Bill of Rights would provide artificial boundaries to our freedom, which we are already protected under our existing constitution. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Alexander Turner, and I will be speaking in regards to the Governor-General. Under our existing constitution, the role of the Governor-General is of profound importance. The definition of the federal parliament in section 1 of the constitution is that this parliament will consist of the Queen, a Senate, and a House of Representatives. The Governor-General is appointed on the advice of the Prime Minister, but will be, in the words of the Constitution, Her Majesty's representative in the Commonwealth. A book that is yet to be written would be on the role of successive Governor-Generals, since the Earl of Hopetoun to Quentin Bryce have played over the last 110 years. They have advised governments in war and peace and provided a stability of wise counsel across all those years of parliamentary democracy. The outcome of the referendum campaign in 2000 was a clear vote for consistency and stability. The Australian voters do not want fractionalism or political bias disturbing the Governor-General's role as Her Majesty's representative. We rather seek to maintain and build upon the rich inheritance we have received from our Constitution writing forebearers. My presence today is to show that for a future generation of Australians, we will continue to support the fine legacy that was passed on to us in due course. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Willsher, and I will be speaking on the role of the High Court and the Constitution. Just as the Greek philosopher Plato complained about the manners of the youth in his time, the press and media have also been quick to point out the deficiencies of today's youth. Nothing has changed through the ages, and I'm sure that Plato's teacher Socrates would have pointed out a few issues with his own pupil. Preparing for this opportunity to address you here today, my colleagues and I performed a poll among our peers. The vast majority, like us, see immense value in maintaining the traditions that we have inherited. At present, it is our local representatives who have the responsibility to govern, while the High Court can interpret the Constitution. It cannot change it. Our forebears in drafting the Constitution built in the ability to interpret laws in the light of the Constitution, as well as a mechanism to alter it should the public see fit. It is this safeguard that continues to appeal to my generation. Our world is changing fast, and we look for stability to base our lives upon. To argue that we need some sort of presidential system with a division of executive, legislative, and judicial powers was not what our forebears had in mind. The Australian Constitution provides us with a government that is able to respond to modern challenges, but at the same time provides us with a continuity that is the envy of other nations. My peers and I subscribe to the view that if it is not broken, don't fix it. We believe in the words of the Australians for Constitutional Monarchy Handbook. that the Constitution has sustained our legal and governmental system and will continue to provide the stability and unity which makes us the envy of the world. I lived in Fiji during the coup in 2000, and my experience of that coup and the effect it had and still has on the everyday life and politics of the people of Fiji has had a profound impact on me. It is comforting to know that given the troubles throughout the world today, that there is stability at home here in Australia. The stability provided by our Constitution has helped Australia through many difficult circumstances, and I have no doubt that it will do so for a long time to come. Everything we have spoken about here today relies totally upon the Australian Constitution and its continued existence, and thus the existence of the monarchy. Although it may disappoint Plato and Socrates, who believe the term monarchist to be one of the greatest insults a person could receive, a great deal of today's youth are definitely in favour of the constitutional monarchy. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you would agree that all of our speakers are very well informed and very well read. Let's thank them in the usual manner.